This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Monday, July 6th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana. A violent holiday weekend in the Circle City with at least 12 people shot. Working for you, we're breaking down the latest on those investigations.
Our stance is we believe that hate has no home at the head of a community or at the head of a church or any place of worship.
Demonstrators lined the front of a Carmel church on Sunday after a priest was suspended for calling Black Lives Matter protesters maggots and parasites. This morning, reaction from the community.
Because we were considered essential, we were able to keep our people working and continue servicing and providing medicine for those patients.
A Plainfield company saw a surge in demand during the pandemic, and they're looking to hire Hoosiers. They're planning to put more people to work while keeping employees safe to protect against COVID-19.
It's the effort to keep young people safe and healthy until the return back to school. That story coming up on WRTV 6.
And it is 6 o'clock here on our Monday. Thanks for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. We hope you had a great holiday weekend. I'm Lauren Casey. Raphael, good morning to you down in Johnson County.
Lauren, good morning to you as well. Good morning to Todd, as summer is now making itself settling in, of course, making itself comfortable, while the humidity, Todd, is making many people uncomfortable.
Yeah, you know, and unfortunately not much is going to change here, Raphael, as we're going to continue probably this entire week dealing with that humidity that you mentioned and temperatures that are going to be in the 90s. And speaking of humidity, look at this view from IMS back towards downtown Indianapolis. You see the haze out there, and that is the humidity. That's the moisture in the air. So when you walk out the door this morning, I think that's the first thing you'll notice. I noticed with my air conditioner on overnight, a lot of my windows in the house had condensation on them, and that's because of all the moisture that is outside. As far as any rain goes, we had this one storm here. It's flared up with a little bit of lightning just south of State Road 46 through Brown County, but this is lifting right towards downtown Nashville, and then it's going to continue to slide through northern portions of Brown County and eventually up towards the Morgantown area. Nothing severe, but just isolated heavy rain and a little bit of lightning, but that's going to be the case here throughout the day. It's not going to take a whole lot for some of these storms to flare up. Now, the majority of them will be in the afternoon hours during the peak heating of the day, but you can't rule out one here in the morning. Look at this, 88 by the time we get to the noon hour, high temperatures in the low 90s. Factor in that humidity, Lauren, it's going to feel closer to 100 degrees.
Todd, thank you. Let's take a look right now in the downtown area at traffic, I-65 and I-70 at the South Split, where everything's moving along up to speed. Don't forget, we have the westbound lanes of I-70 closed as you're heading towards the airport. That project's set to last through the end of July. We'll keep you updated. Raphael?
The time now is 6:03 here on Good Morning Indiana. Another violent weekend in the Circle City. 2 people are dead. 12 were shot since Friday. Our Kelsey Anderson, she joins us this morning with all the details. Kelsey, good morning.
The 4th of July weekend proving to be another violent one in the Circle City. Since Friday at 3 p.m., 12 people have been shot and 1 person stabbed. Those incidents leading to 2 people losing their lives. On Friday, there was a walk-in gunshot victim at Eskenazi and a shooting on English Avenue. Saturday, 4 people were shot in 3 separate incidents, all of them said to be in stable condition. Also happening Saturday, a person was stabbed near the Fortner block of Arthur Avenue. The victim in that case died. And on Sunday, 4 separate shootings left 3 people injured and a 24-year-old woman dead. Jessica Whitaker was killed near the Canal Walk. This is the 2nd person in just 1 week who has been killed in this area. We were live at the canal just last week when a 14-year-old was shot and killed after trying to rob someone who was also on the Canal Walk. We spoke to neighbors in that area, and they are asking for more police presence. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV 6.
Kelsey, thank you. Also developing this morning, police in Avon are investigating what they say is a murder-suicide. This happened Sunday morning in the Lexington Woods neighborhood. That's near County Road 100 South, just east of the Dan Jones Expressway. Officers were called to do a welfare check. When they arrived, they found 2 people dead inside the home. The victims were later identified as 41-year-old Manisha Singhal and her 7-year-old son, Shiv Patel. In a Facebook post, Avon PD said in part, quote, "Tragedies of this magnitude have an impact on our entire community. We ask that you respect the privacy of the family moving forward," end quote. At 6:05, a local priest is under fire this morning after a controversial comment he made about the Black Lives Matter movement.
And Lauren, our Alyssa Donovan is live at his Carmel church where demonstrators made their voices heard. Alyssa, good morning and fill us in on the details.
Good morning. So yesterday afternoon, people gathered here outside of the church, some of them asking for this priest to be removed from his leadership position, and others were here in support of him. Now, this all stems from a statement that was made by Father Ted Rothrock last week. Rothrock was suspended from ministry at St. Elizabeth Seton Catholic Church by the Lafayette in Indiana bishop on Wednesday. This after he compared the Black Lives Matter movement and its followers to maggots and parasites in his weekly message. The group Carmel Against Racial Injustice says they want further action, requesting the priest be completely removed from his leadership position, stating that his place of power can be influential over others.
Our stance is we believe that hate has no home at the head of a community or at the head of a church or any place of worship. People take the rhetoric that someone in leadership gives them, especially their religious leader, and they internalize that. So when you have someone carelessly saying the things that he did, that's going to influence people in the community and bleed over to hate towards people of color in the community.
And several people at yesterday's demonstration were also there in support of the priest and his freedom of speech. The church did release a statement to their parishioners on the suspension of Father Rothrock, saying in part, as a parish, we do not condone his hurtful language, which does not recognize the dignity of all people. And of course, this is a developing story that we are going to continue to follow for you. As soon as we learn more, we'll bring you the latest. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV 6.
Turning now to the latest on the coronavirus's impact on our state. The State Department of Health reporting 6 new Hoosier deaths this between June the 17th and July the 4th. Here are the latest numbers. That brings the total number of deaths in our state to 2,500 Hoosiers. 596 new cases of COVID-19 were also reported to the health department. There are now more than 48,000 reported cases of the virus in Indiana. 521,722 people have been tested with a 9.2 positivity rate. Now, state health leaders also report that intensive care unit and ventilator capacity remains steady. As of this morning, nearly 42% of ICU beds remain available. Just over 9% are being used by COVID patients. The state also has 84% of ventilators available. Nearly 3% are being used by COVID patients. Lauren?
Raphael, a new study estimates and shows how many lives could be saved by wearing a mask. The Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation created a model that projects the number of U.S. deaths between now and October 1st. As things stand, researchers predict we'll hit 170,000 deaths by then. But if everyone in the country wore a mask, that number drops by 25,000. Basically, the more people an infected person is around, the more deaths wearing a mask can prevent. The Institute often advises the White House and local governments, and it's submitting this model for peer review.
The time now is 6:09, and new this morning, a local teacher concerned about her kids' health in a COVID-19 hotspot, she found a way to make a difference.
2 mediums, 1 large.
Renee Bacon did exactly what she talked about.
With the contributions of so many people in the community, we were able to meet and even exceed our mask collection.
Her Mask Up Period campaign passed out hundreds of face masks to students at Arlington Woods Elementary School as they headed into summer break. The school located in what's considered a COVID-19 hotspot.
I hope that it helps kids to be able to have some sense of normality, being able to go outside and play and be able to go in the public and keep themselves safe.
Wear them with pride too, okay?
It was 1 mask per child as they picked up report cards and their belongings, since school had been off limits since March the 13th.
In spite of what's going on in our country right now, in spite of the pandemic that we got going on, there's still a greater need for us to try to help people.
Y'all have a good day now. Bye-bye.
Be blessed.
In this circle, volunteers embraced the effort with eagerness. no mask could cover up their empathy.
I'm here to serve and support the kids that are here. I'm here because I care about our community. I'm here because I believe in our children and I want to keep them safe. All right, guys, on 3, mask up, period. 1, 2, 3. Mask up, period.
Ms. Bacon is a 5th grade teacher at the school, and back in May, RTV6 was proud to present her with the Jefferson Award for Multiplying Good. Way to go, Ms. Bacon. You're doing a great job there, as well as your fellow teachers. Lauren?
Todd, thank you, or Raphael, thank you, rather. A Plainfield company looking to hire Hoosiers. Up next, how they're putting more people to work while adapting to the new normal.
Now, Lauren, you know Todd is taller, but that's okay. And Google Maps wants to help you get around safely during this pandemic. Coming up, a look at the new features you'll see on Google Maps. And now, the one and only, the true Todd Clausen on Good Morning Indiana.
Raphael, as you walk out the door this morning, it's more of the same, more heat, more humidity, and there'll be the chance of storms as we work our way into the afternoon hours. So if you're thinking about exercising, you're better off this morning. It's still a little uncomfortable with the humidity, but better than this afternoon when we build in the heat and heat index values near 90 degrees. We'll break down today's forecast and look ahead for you as well. Coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:12.
Keller and Keller.
The time now is 6:14. Time to talk hiring Hoosiers. RTV6's commitment to helping you and your family find a job any day of the week. And this morning, Lauren, you're taking us to Hendricks County and taking us inside a Hendricks County company.
That's right. So this Plainfield business saw a surge in demand during the pandemic. The logistics company is also changing the way that they do things in-house to protect their workers from COVID-19.
I'm in our cooler build area, so there's a lot of coolers, ice, and gel.
Fran Bankhead is a team leader at Plainfield Logistics Company, MD Logistics.
Make sure that our customers get their medicine and it's conditioned right and everything's okay.
She's been with the company since 2018.
It feels more of like a family versus a job.
But when the pandemic hit, Fran was worried she may have to choose between her real family or her work family.
But MD reassured me that put my family first. So I was able to take that time off and still come back to my job, and everything was just great. So they've been helping us whenever they can. They've been empowering us.
The third-party logistics provider customizes supply chain solutions for the customers they serve. From manufacturing all the way to the final distribution, MD Logistics gets the goods where they need to go. The company focuses mainly on life science products like medications, and they also work with personal care products.
Because we were considered essential, we were able to keep our people working and continue servicing and providing medicine for those patients.
Emily Gerbers is the Director of Business Development. She tells me that there was a lot of pivoting and shifting of the supply chain due to COVID-19, with a surge of more orders online delivered directly to consumers and a shift away from brick and mortars. And now the company is adapting to this new normal, and they're hiring in a wide range of positions to keep up.
What are you looking for in particular in a prospective employee?
We're most definitely looking for motivated individuals that can be at work every day, that cares about their job and the products that we send out.
Jennifer Sanders works in human resources. She says positions include internships, team leads, equipment operators, general labor like picking, packing, and auditing, and managerial roles. And that MD Logistics is taking their new safety protocols seriously for those who work here.
We are keeping our employees 6 feet apart. We are encouraging them to wear masks on a daily basis.
We've increased all of our cleaning protocols. We've been doing temperature checks since March, I believe. To Jennifer's point, if we don't have, if we can't be socially distanced, we are wearing masks. But for the most part, the majority of our folks who are able to work remote are still working remote.
And for the team leaders like Fran, the safety precautions, the family atmosphere, and the work that gets life-saving medications into the hands of people in our community keep her coming back each day.
That helps me come to work every day, knowing that I'm impacting somebody's life in a good way.
Well, MD Logistics say they believe in promoting from within whenever possible, so there is opportunities for growth. If you want to learn more about the open positions with MD Logistics and apply for a job, you can just go to our website, hiringhoosiers.com, and click on that story. It is 6:18. Let's check in with Todd on our weather headlines for your Monday.
And Lauren, it's all about the heat and humidity once again across the area, as it's going to continue not just today, but throughout the entire week with high temperatures in the 90s. Heat index values will be near 100 degrees at times each and every afternoon. And with the heat and humidity will come the daily chance of some storms. In fact, we have one isolated thunderstorm, as I'll show you out there already here this morning. There'll be more numerous, though, later on this afternoon. A live look from IMS back towards downtown Indianapolis. Just look at all that haze. A very summery looking start to our day. Sunrise officially just happened across the area. 75 degrees in Indy right now with a dew point of 71. The closer the actual temperature and the dew point temperature are to each other, the more saturated the atmosphere is. And that's why we have a humidity value right now all the way up at 87%. So it's a very, very muggy morning for us. Temperatures in the 70s anywhere you go. 73 in Greencastle right now, 72 in Muncie, 71 is the current temperature as you make your way over into the Tipton area. Most of you are dry here this morning, but take a look at this one isolated thunderstorm that is making its way through Brown County, right in Nashville. And so right in the heart of Brown County, this thunderstorm, a lot of lightning here, some heavy downpours. You notice the heavy rain, though, extends through Brown County State Park and then east as you work your way on State Road 46 towards the Columbus area. And then there's a few more showers just south of Columbus as well. But those are the only games in town here this morning as far as the rain goes. And we're definitely going to see more in the way of storms later on this afternoon compared to this morning. But it's not out of the question this morning that there could be an isolated downpour just like we have right now down in Brown County. But here's the look on TrueCast as we work our way into the peak heating of the day in the afternoon hours. As we get into the 4 and 5 o'clock hour, we're looking at these isolated storms. Nothing severe here throughout the day today. It's more just some heavy rainfall and a little bit of lightning mixed in. But high temperatures once again in northern locations going up into the 90s, 93 in Lafayette, about 91 in Tipton, 93 from Bedford to Bloomington to Greencastle over towards Terre Haute. Shelbyville, you're at 93 degrees as well. Then in and around the metro area, temperatures should be in the 90s. So not much has changed from yesterday. Yesterday, we got up to 94 for our high temperature. We'll probably be right in that ballpark as you saw there once again today in many locations. Your rain chances throughout the week, about a 20% chance today, 30 tomorrow. Then they go up a little bit higher as we work our way into the latter half of the week. Friday is when we'll target the front to come through, and that is when showers and storms potentially could be a little more numerous across the area. Tomorrow, though, it's just a spotty storm chance. Highs once again into the low 90s right around the 2-3 o'clock hour. And then going forward in this forecast, the core of the heat is still really just on top of us as we work our way throughout the remainder of this week. Thursday up to 94 degrees. And as you see in your 7-day planning forecast, hot all across the board. Even once that front goes through on Friday, temperatures will cool off just slightly back down into the upper 80s on Sunday. And each and every day, at least for the next 7 days, there will be the chance of a few spotty storms.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. A grandfather in Texas celebrating his birthday by jumping out of an airplane and into the record books. And today's trending 6, why this record-breaking skydive has more than one special meaning.
Lauren, I think you, me, and Todd should do that. Give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
No.
The new Cheetah Chase water coaster is now launching at Holiday World and Splashing Safari, and you could be one of the first to ride it thanks to Good Morning Indiana. This morning is your chance to win a pair of ticket vouchers to the parks and have a great time. All you have to do is be the 6th caller right now. What do? Call the number right there on your screen, 317-269-1459. Good luck. And if you don't win today, keep on trying. We're giving more tickets away later this week. A big good morning to Speedway, Shelbyville, and Sheridan. Some great places to live here in Indiana. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Value City Furniture.
Welcome back. Right now, the time is 6:25 on your Monday. Raphael, it's time to talk about what is trending at 6.
So I found something that you, me, and Todd can do together as a team We can invite Alyssa and Kelsey as well, and even Dave Rufo, our director. Check this out, because if this guy can do it, we can all do this. A 103-year-old Texas man is now in the Guinness Book of World Records. Why? He is the oldest person to ever jump out of a plane. Al Blaschke is not new to skydiving, having already made a jump to celebrate his 100th birthday. But this time around, he is celebrating the college graduations of his twin grandsons. You see, Jason goes to Texas A&M. He's an Aggie. And Kevin from the University of Texas. Al has survived the coronavirus pandemic, the Great Depression, the Spanish flu, and of course, that big jump. Lauren, we can do it.
I don't know about that. We'll see. All right, well, international travel, Raphael, it's on pause for a while, but this airport in Taiwan gave some lucky contest winners the next best thing. It was a pretend to go abroad airport tour, complete with a fake flight. Tour goers did everything from checking in to going through security screenings and boarding, all that fun stuff. The tour was part of a promotion to show off the airport's new renovations. There you go.
Okay. There you go. And today, a shout out in memoriam to Sister Norma Rockledge. The sister recently passed away. She was well known on the Marian University campus here in Indianapolis, as well as a community advocate throughout the city of Indianapolis. She will be remembered for her kindness and dedication to service. Time now at 6:27 to check in your forecast with Todd Clausen. Good morning, TK.
Raphael, good morning to you. If you walked out your door here at your house down there in Johnson County, look to the south, you'd probably see the clouds starting to build, and that's where we find this one isolated thunderstorm that's making its way through Brown County. Some heavy rainfall in Nashville this morning with some lightning strikes, and this is slowly lifting its way to the north. So Morgantown, you'll be up next probably to see a quick downpour here this morning. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet right now. Additional storms are possible as we work our way into the afternoon hours. In fact, it's a better chance of storms this afternoon than this morning. The one we have out there right now is kind of just an isolated storm that flared up. High temperatures today in the 90s for most of us, with heat index values, Lauren, approaching 100 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We know more states and cities are enforcing mask requirements, including Indianapolis this week. Consumer reporter John Matarese shows us which masks are the best and the right way to wear them so you don't waste your money.
More and more Southern California businesses are now requiring face masks to stop the spread of COVID-19. So we wanted to know the best way and the worst way to wear them. We may not love it, but Americans are masking up more and more.
I feel comfortable wearing a face mask these days.
No, but we have to do it.
I am comfortable wearing a face mask. I just make my trips short and get what I need.
But are you getting the proper protection? There's the drinker mask with a straw hole, or the Ben Affleck mask with a smoking hole. Neither is the best.
Good afternoon, Melanie.
So we went to the experts at a medical supply store to find out.
You can do one side around the ear and then form it around the nose, bring it around the other ear, pull it down.
Troy Stinson says many people don't pinch over their nose, leaving a gaping hole.
Just walk around a store or mall, you'll see a lot of chin masks like this. You'll see plenty of mouth masks like this. None of them give the protection of a full covering.
Troy says N95 masks are the best, but should be saved for medical professionals. Cloth masks are washable, but get heavy. Bandana masks are acceptable. And blue surgical masks are the most comfortable and work well.
It's not going to give you as much protection as an N95, but it is still going to offer quite a bit of protection from the larger droplets.
Experts suggest you avoid vented contractor masks. They don't filter your breath on the way out. With COVID on the increase again, it's easy to do your part.
You know, it'll help out, whatever I can do to help out.
Finally, the days of price gouging should be just about over. Many drugstores and hardware stores should have some in stock so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Monday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. Police in Avon are investigating what they say is a murder-suicide. Officers found 41-year-old Manisha Singhal and her 7-year-old son Shiv Patel dead inside their home in the Lexington Woods neighborhood. Police have been called to the home for a welfare check on the family.
The 4th of July weekend, fireworks kept Indianapolis firefighters busy this weekend. That includes a fire that damaged a duplex on the city's northeast side, plus a man who told firefighters he was lighting fireworks in his driveway on New Road when one shot straight into his garage. The firework lodged in a corner of the garage that housed a lawnmower and several gas cans. Luckily, no one was hurt.
4 Beech Grove firefighters were treated and released from a hospital after they were hit by a car while responding to a field fire. This incident happened just after 10 o'clock Saturday night. The car hit the fire engine and then a utility pole shortly after it stopped at the scene of the fire. Police say the driver was impaired and was arrested at the scene.
Let's take you west of Indianapolis, where investigators say engine problems forced the pilot of a gyroplane to make an emergency landing in Putnam County. The pilot told Putnam County deputies he started having engine trouble shortly after takeoff on Sunday afternoon from the Putnam County Regional Airport. The pilot tried to make it back to the airport, but the plane came down near State Road 24. The pilot was not injured.
Frontline workers at Kroger are among the first to have access to a new home testing kit for COVID-19, that is. The kits can be used alongside a telehealth consultation with a doctor. Right now, Kroger is providing the tests for free to Kroger employees and based on their medical needs. The goal is to process up to 60,000 tests per week by the end of this month. But first, here at 6:30, I want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Good morning, Raphael, to you down in Franklin.
Good morning. It's a day to enjoy all things summer, Todd Clausen, even though the humidity is making it really, 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 really hard.
Yeah, you know, humidity value is going to stay way up here throughout the day, Raphael. So drink plenty of water if you are going to be out and about throughout the day today. And with the heat and with the humidity already this morning, we are dealing with an isolated thunderstorm that has flared up. Nothing severe here, and we've kind of lost a little bit of the lightning with this storm system as it's now pushing north of Nashville, really just making its way through Brown County, going right up State Road 135 there. From Nashville eventually towards Morgantown, and that's the direction it's slowly drifting here. So Sweetwater Lake here within a few minutes, some heavy downpours, a rumble of thunder. Morgantown eventually as we get closer to the quarter hour, as we push towards 7 o'clock, as this again, it's just slowly lifting to the north. What will probably happen is it'll start to weaken as it slides to the north here. It's already losing the lightning, and that's going to be the case throughout the entire day. We saw it over the weekend. These storms flare up, but there's no winds to kind of move them along, so they kind of just rain themselves out, weaken, and then they basically fall apart. So we'll keep an eye on those throughout the course of the day today. 70s this morning. It's really warm. It's really muggy throughout the day today, on our way up to a high of 93 degrees. Lauren, later on this afternoon.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads. This is a look on the north side of town where traffic is really picking up. I-465, the view here near Michigan Road. Everything's traveling up to speed, though. No crashes or delays here to slow down your commute. Here at 6:33 and new this morning, police say a missing elderly couple from Florida may have traveled through Indianapolis. Paul and Yvonne Voigt are both 89 years old. Police say they left Port St. Lucie, Florida in a 2008 Honda Ridgeline pickup truck with Florida tags, and they were possibly heading to Wisconsin. Since then, their cell phones have been shut off. The couple's credit card was last used in Dayton, Ohio, but their last transaction was Sunday afternoon here in Indianapolis. The Voights suffer from cognitive impairment, and police say they may be driving aimlessly in the 3-state area of Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. If you think you've seen the Voights, police say you need to call 911 or call the Port St. Lucie police at the number on your screen. That is 772-871-5001. Well, the 4th of July weekend was a hot one and a violent one here in Indianapolis. Metro Police say they worked a total of 12 shootings since 3 p.m. on Friday, along with one stabbing. 2 of the victims lost their lives.
A busy weekend for police, and Lauren, police say one of those shootings happened in the downtown area, where another shooting got a lot of attention a couple of days ago for a separate shooting. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us this morning with all the details.
On Sunday morning, a 24-year-old woman was found on the Canal Walk with a gunshot wound. 24-year-old Jessica Whitaker later died at the hospital. This is the second person in just 1 week who has been shot and killed on the popular walk. We told you last week about a 14-year-old boy who was shot and killed after trying to rob someone who was on the canal walk. We spoke to residents of the area then, and they say they don't think the canal is safe once the sun goes down, and they want to see more police presence in the area.
When it's dark, we don't stay outside, which is unfortunate because the canal has some really pretty places, you know, where you can be outside at night, but it's just not safe.
Also happening over the weekend, on Friday, there was a walk-in gunshot victim at Eskenazi in a shooting on English Avenue. Saturday, 4 people were shot in 3 separate incidents, all of them said to be in stable condition. A person was stabbed near the 400 block of Arthur Avenue. The victim in that case has died. And on Sunday, 4 separate shootings left 3 people injured and a 24-year-old woman dead. Anyone with information on these shootings and stabbings that happened over the weekend is asked to call IMPD, and you can always call anonymously to Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV 6.
Kelsey, thank you. It is 6:36, and we are following a police shooting that left a man dead over the weekend. This happened up in Muncie. This happened early Sunday morning near 14th and High Streets. Muncie police say they were responding to a call of a possible suicidal person, and they found 30-year-old Taylor Warner sitting in a car. Officers said as they approached the car, Warner got out holding what they thought was a gun. Police say he refused to drop the weapon, and that's when they fired. Warner later died at the hospital. Investigators say the weapon turned out to be a BB gun. He also had a butcher knife. Police say they are reviewing body camera footage of that shooting.
The time now is 6:36 here on Good Morning Indiana, and the pushback continues against a Catholic priest in Carmel who was suspended after he made some disparaging remarks about the Black Lives Matter movement. Demonstrators, they held a day-long event outside of that church on Sunday. And this morning, Alyssa Donovan joins us live with the details. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning, Raphael. Demonstrators gathered here yesterday outside of St. Elizabeth Seton Catholic Church. Some of them were against what this priest said. Some of them want him to be further removed from the church. Others were here in support of that priest. Now, several people at yesterday's demonstration were part of the Carmel Against Racial Injustice group, saying they want further action against Ted Rothrock. Rothrock is a priest at St. Elizabeth. Last Sunday in his weekly message, Rothrock compared the Black Lives Matter movement and its followers to maggots and parasites. Tuesday night, Father Rothrock put out an apology on the church's website, and Wednesday, he was suspended from ministry at the church by the Bishop of the Diocese of Lafayette in Indiana. We spoke to demonstrators from both sides of the issue on Sunday.
Standing with Father Ted, he didn't call black people or protesters or anybody else maggots. What he called maggots was Black Lives Matter, the organization, and they are. They're feeding off of desperation in the community to cause all this upset. We all have a freedom of speech, right?
We can talk about it until we're blue in the face, and that's what a lot of people want to do, is they want to talk about it and talk about how they're supportive. But we're not going to stop until talk becomes action and action becomes progress.
The majority of demonstrators were with the Carmel Racial Injustice group, who are calling for the priest to be removed from his leadership position at the church. Now, Deacon Bill Reed wrote in a statement to parishioners with the church website, and that wrote in part, as a parish, we do not condone Father Ted's hurtful language, which does not recognize the dignity of all people. Now, this is a developing story that we are going to continue following for you. As soon as we have more details, we'll bring you the latest. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV 6.
Alyssa, thank you. Separated socially, but united in purpose. That's the message from a group that led a peaceful protest through Indianapolis over the weekend. The Indianapolis Ministerium organized the Power Parade 2020 to give children the skills they need to be leaders. It brought together local youth advocacy groups for a parade that started at the Indianapolis Urban League. They're hoping to provide an opportunity for the voices of the future who may have answers to questions or problems that have led to protests in the streets in recent weeks. We talked with a woman who volunteered about why she wanted to get involved.
Well, I'm a teacher. I teach with IPS, and I see it firsthand in my students a lot, the issues going on in systemic racism, and I just want to do everything I can to bring change. We would definitely want to address police brutality. That would probably be at the forefront because we don't want to have repeat in systemic racism. For example, we had Destiny speaking earlier about how she's 20 years old and how when she was 13 she remembers Trayvon Martin being shot, and we're still 7 years later and she's still seeing about black men on the news as we all are being shot by the police.
Organizers sent educational materials home with parents to help them talk with their kids about what's happening in cities across the country as people are fighting for equality. The resources are available online at listentourfuture.com. Organizers hope to hold more events like this in the future to empower youth to make social changes in their communities.
So, Lauren, we're just days away from masks being mandatory in Marion County. Up next, we'll show you how you can get a mask and give a helping hand to some families in need at the same time. The time now is 6:40, and you're watching Good Morning Indiana.
Apply online today.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Come Thursday, face coverings will be mandatory in Marion County. And since that initial announcement was made, one local school district that's been selling masks has seen an increase in their sales. Let's take you to the west side of Indianapolis. These are the Giants of Ben Davis High School. The senior class officers selling masks as a fundraiser that will help local families. This idea started back in March with just two options. One saying BD for Ben Davis and the other one saying Wayne Township. Now, since then, hundreds of people have ordered them and requested their school colors and logos for other schools in the district. Now, the money raised will go to help feed families during their Thanksgiving food drive, which is a costly event.
We feed anywhere from 300 to 500 families. Each year it has increased. I'm sure this year it'll definitely increase again. And then we run a non-perishable food pantry all year long for any of our families at the high school. So when we are selling all these masks and we are raising this money, to me, every time we get a sale, I just know that that's one more family we can help.
Way to go to the MSD of Wayne Township. Go Giants. The masks are made of cotton, by the way. They're made by Zips Dry Cleaning. We have a link right now on the RTV6 app with details on how you can buy one of these masks.
And Raphael, a reminder for anyone, if you don't have a face covering yet, you can get a free one at the Julia M. Carson Transit Center here in downtown Indianapolis. You can pick one up from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and from 9 to noon every Saturday while supplies last. You can also sign up for free face coverings at indy.gov/masks.
It was good to see the green flag out at the track this holiday weekend. Coming up, a recap of the big event involving IndyCar and NASCAR at IMS. But first, let's check in with Todd Clausen.
And Raphael, we've been tracking this one thunderstorm as it's made its way through Brown County. Starting to weaken now. We've lost the lightning characteristics, and the heaviest of the rain is through Nashville, but it'll slowly continue to move to the north as it fades away. But additional storms are possible later on this afternoon, so the Storm Shield app will be a good tool to have. Not that I'm expecting severe weather, but there's interactive radar here as well. You can track the storms into your neighborhood. Otherwise, it's all about the heat and humidity today as highs climb into the low 90s. We'll talk about today's forecast and look ahead to the rest of this week coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues.
We are Value City Furniture.
Welcome back, Raphael. It certainly was strange for us not to be out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway just before a big race, but it was great to see the cars back out on the track this weekend for that historic triple header.
We look forward to being there in August, right? So we'll see what happens. This all, though, got started Saturday with the race that usually, right, leads up to the Indianapolis 500. Take a look.
Drivers, start your engines!
After Governor Holcomb gave the command, they were off on Saturday at the GMR Grand Prix. It's a race that Scott Dixon had come so close to winning before. He was the runner-up each of the past 2 years. This year, he took the lead when he decided not to pit with 17 laps to go. And Dixon holds on for his first Indy Grand Prix victory. Congratulations to him.
And Raphael, it was NASCAR's turn at IMS on Sunday. The Brickyard 400 was almost marred by a big crash in pit lane that happened early in the race. The crash sent one of Ryan Blaney's crew members to the hospital. He did give a thumbs up, though, as he was taken by medics. It appears he's going to be okay. In the lead, and with 7 laps to go, Denny Hamlin blew a tire and slammed into a wall in a fiery crash, and that left the win open for Kevin Harvick off the restart, who got to kiss the bricks for the 3rd time in his career. And Todd, for the most part of the weekend, we had dry weather, but we did have some pop-up storms. I know we got quite a bit of rain both days down here in Greenwood, where I live.
Yeah, you know, and I hardly got any rain at my house, so it was feast or famine. Either you got the downpours or you didn't. And more storms are in the forecast for the day today, because really nothing has changed in this overall weather pattern. It's still hot and it's still humid, and as a result, we'll have the daily chance of those storms. 93 is the forecast high for the day today, and I know it's been hot, but nowhere close to the record high for the day today. That was set way back in 2012 at 105 degrees, but it's a hazy, humid start to the day. Just look at the haze that's out there. The haze is just the moisture, the humidity that's in the atmosphere, and temperatures right now are ranging from 68 in Kokomo to 75 in Indy. 72 is the current temperature in Bloomington. Throughout the day today, our temperatures will warm very quickly. Already 89 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. 93 will be our high temperature. That should occur right around the 3 o'clock hour. And then even by 6 p.m., our temperature is going to be right around 89 degrees. To go with the heat and humidity, the humidity will be around as well. The humidity level today in that oppressive category, as dew points will be hovering right around that 70-degree mark. So more of the same in the forecast. Make sure you stay hydrated if you're going to be out and about, if you're exercising or having to work outside throughout the day today. Been tracking this one thunderstorm for you throughout the course of the last hour. It's now north of Nashville. It's lost the lightning, though. That has faded away, and that's a sign that the storm is starting to weaken. So as it slides up here towards the Morgantown area, it's basically just going to fall apart, and that's the problem with these storms, or I guess it's not a huge problem to have because they'll fade away pretty quickly, is that they can't really support themselves for a long period of time. There's no winds in the upper level of the atmosphere to move them along, so they just build up, they rain themselves out, and then they basically fade away. But more storms this afternoon flaring up in the peak heating of the day. Nothing severe, lightning and wind, just like that one down in Brown County right now, so be aware of that if you are outdoors. But all these storms should fade away as the sun starts to set, with temperatures in the 80s this evening. Sunset is at 9:16. For the day tomorrow, we're looking at highs back up into the low 90s. Once again, the chance of isolated storms in the afternoon, and as you look at your 7-day planning forecast, has a very similar look to it. Highs in the low 90s to mid 90s through Thursday, with spot storm chances. A little better chance of storms on Friday as a weak cold front comes through. That cold front will knock the temperatures down just a little bit as we head into the weekend, Lauren, with highs on Sunday back into the upper 80s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic down on the south side of town. This is I-465, our view near Madison Avenue. Just be aware as you're traveling westbound on 465 here and you're approaching US 31, be aware that we do have a left shoulder blocked right now. We had a crash on the left shoulder followed by a medical emergency there on the shoulder, so just give them plenty of space and move over into the center lane if you are in that left lane, just to give them extra room to work that scene. Right now, traffic is still moving through there, though, just maybe a slight delay, as you can see here on the westbound side. That's the right side of your screen. We'll continue to monitor that and keep you updated on any other issues for your commute. So how many hot dogs did you eat over the holiday weekend? Coming up, it's probably a safe bet that you and your entire extended family did not eat as many as a couple of living legends did. That story's just after the break.
The RTV6 app on your phone or streaming device.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We hope that everyone had a great 4th of July weekend. And Lauren, this year, 2 people are the champions of some holiday cuisine.
Yes, and this annual eating tradition continued to be scaled down due to the pandemic. It was pretty weird to watch, but if you missed the Nathan's hot dog eating competition on the 4th of July, you missed a couple of world records. The contest this time was held indoors, socially distanced, with no fans this year, but Mickey Sudo won the women's competition for the 7th consecutive year. She's just well far beyond her competition. She ate 48.5 hot dogs in just 10 minutes, and our freaking weekend, RTV6 visitor Joey Chestnut claimed his 13th victory on the men's side. He ate 75 hot dogs to beat his old record by 1 hot dog.
Wow.
By the way, Joey reached a milestone by eating his 1,000th career hot dog. Pretty incredible to see, even without the fans pumping him up. He still managed to get 75 of those down in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy. I feel like we're friends because he's come into the noon show several times.
I went up against him in that shrimp eating contest that one time.
That was like no big deal for him.
No, he was popping them in. I'm sitting here. Woo.
Yeah.
It's a hot one here in the next couple days. Once again, temperatures in the 90s. Daily chance of isolated storms with heavy rainfall and lightning, but we are not expecting any severe weather.
All right, Todd, thanks. And thank you for joining us. We're back here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with local news, weather, and of course, traffic updates. All your news throughout the day can be found on the